Have I was like, what? Hola. It is Kristen Nicole Man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I was gonna say good afternoon, and it's actually nighttime. I had to race to get on here because I needed to do my live for today, but I started my Saturday very late and I went to a couple places and yeah, that's what I'm on here to talk about tonight. So, hi, how are you? I want to introduce myself. As I said, Christian Nicole Man, and what I do is I help the modern day woman find their true authenticity through all things creative. And if you follow my channel, you'll find that I am multifaceted and I do a lot of things. So let's get started. I want to talk tonight about my trip to Barnes and Noble and how it re-inspired me. I love going to Barnes and Noble. I love going to the library. But Barnes and Noble or any type of bookstore, they always keep new books in stock and rotation, and I just love to see like all the different things that people come up with and create. So if you are a writer, I really encourage you to do that as well. Go to the bookstore, breathe in the air, the book smells, go read some different kinds of books. Sometimes I read children's books, sometimes I read biographies, sometimes I read like history based, it's the cookbooks, all the things. So but tonight in particular, if you don't know, let me make this announcement first. I am a children's book author. I publish a lot of children's books, but in particular, my first two books I published were the Legendary Lesson series that I have. It is based off of my son and our family. And I was so excited when I was able to make a dream come true. I sat on this particular book for a couple years and then I just decided to do it, and then I came out with this one afterwards. So this one is about the days of the week, and this one is about we use our hands. And I will be making these or turning these into hard copies as well, because right now it's only in paperback. So if you see, it's like you can bend it, but there are some people that like to buy hardback for their children. So I am going to turn my Legendary Lesson series into hardbacks, but I also want to talk tonight about, and you can see the back here. This is when he was a little bit younger. But I also want to talk tonight about what I would have done differently if I were to do it all over again, because it's always good to just start so that you can see what you need to fix, what tweakings you need to, tweak. And in particular, tonight, I'm going to go over some of the things that I would do if I was to start all over again. So you can go get these on my website. I'll put it in the description. It is on www.kristennicoleman.com. And again, this is the days of the week to seek. It is oriented in the lessons of learning every day, what the names are, and it also has like a coloring book in the back. And then I have We Use Our Hands, the second one, and this talks about how children can use their hands, and I'm in there as an artist. And it talks about how different family members, they do different things. So it also has a coloring book in the back, um, and different activities. So you can find this on www.kristennicoleman.com, and they're also on Amazon. But I really wanted to talk to you, give you 3 points of what I would do over if I were to publish a children's book again. I know that there are authors or going to be authors that want to branch out into children's books or picture books, whatever you want to call it. And you might need some tips on what you could do, since I've been on this journey since 2000, when I published this. My first children's book I published in 2019. So the second one was 2020. So I actually had to relaunch my second Legendary Lessons book because 2020 came, nobody knew what, they were going to do. So I really was like, what to do? So I've been on like a relaunch with my second Legendary Lessons book for like a couple years now, because nobody was going outside. But the first thing I want to go over is, if I were to do this all over, you have to understand who your target is. Now, we can get stuck on the idea of, yes, I want to put a children's book out, but we don't necessarily wind it down to what kind of children, what kind of parents. Am I going to target grandparents? Am I going to target caregivers that aren't parents but had to take care of the kids? Like, these are things we have to think about still, even when it comes to having a children's book. So I don't want you to go into this thinking that you don't have to have a character per se for who you're going to sell to. Yes, you do. For every single thing, even if I was going to sell a bottle of water, I need a character. So what I mean by that is, you make an imaginary person or group that you're going to speak to when you market it. And I didn't necessarily spend as much time as I should have, because I didn't know the importance of what I was really putting out. I knew that it was an important subject, but I wasn't necessarily stuck on like, who am I going to sell this to? I was like, every kid needs to learn the days of the week. And I just went for it because I was nervous. And sometimes that fear can, push you to where you need to be. But sometimes you're doing it in a blind and you're kind of holding yourself back. So I wouldn't encourage anybody to start like that. I would encourage you to sit down and write out who you would like to target, and see what their problem is, what they're lacking, what they need to know. What do they need to see? How does it need to sound? Because when you think about children's books, sometimes you probably think like it's not that hard to write out, or it's not that hard to market. Every kid loves to read, but that's not necessarily true. I found that the new way of school and how kids learn is totally different from when I was in school. And things are always changing, things are always evolving, and you just don't want to assume that you know the answers. You have to do your research. You have to know what the parents are thinking that the kids need. You have to know what, if grandparents want to buy their grandchildren books, what do they look for? So you might have to have a couple characters that you write out. And honestly, you have to think about, the child is not buying the book. It's actually the parents or an adult that's related to them. So that's another key point that you want to write down or think about when you want to embark on children's books or picture books. So yeah, understanding your target, number one. And I don't know if I could put this in a understand your target. I could probably put it in the comments. Oop. Okay. Next thing, digital marketing. So we are in a time where it is totally different. We have the freedom to market it ourselves. We don't have to worry about going to the traditional routes of what you need to do as far as selling something. So it used to be like you had to go on QVC, you had to go seek out opportunity at the library. You still could do this stuff, but I'm just saying this was the only options back in the day. And I don't want to make it sound like you're old or we're old, but I'm just telling you, like, things are rapidly changing. And now this that I'm on right now is QVC. Like, you could literally take power into your own hand and you could be on here all night. You can be on TikTok all night. You could be on Instagram all night. You could be on Facebook all day. You can use these outlets to digital market your book, your platform, whatever your mission is, and you have to study which one is best for what you're trying to do. So you might want to start on YouTube only. Well, you got to find out what the key hashtags are for like placing them on your video. You have to understand what are people looking at when it comes to the kind of topic that you're writing about. What are the key words? And I'll get to the next point because it relates to this, but you just have to find what digital platform works best for your marketing. And so if you want to start, whether on YouTube or you want to start on Instagram, you want to start on Facebook, they're all different. They're not the same. So you're not going to have what video works on here might not work on a Facebook. It might not work on an Instagram. It might not work on a TikTok because they all have different audiences. So finding out the digital platforms that work for you and works best for your book. And even LinkedIn, don't leave that out. Like, LinkedIn is a professional platform that you could possibly link with someone about speaking to an audience about your book that may not be children. It may be your particular topic if it has to do, let's say, with mental health. Some professionals may need to know, how can you relate to children who have mental health issues with your book? Your book may be the bridge. So someone may reach out to you and say, hey, can you come and speak to these professors about how you came up with the concepts in your books? And that is a speaking engagement. So you have to think about also your end goal. Like, these are things that I kind of like, they were blind spots, and on the way I stumbled into them because I just knew all different types of people that just, thankfully, they thought about me and they were like, hey, come here, or hey, do this, or can I buy this? And so if I were to start all over again, I would be intentional about reaching out to them before I felt they needed to reach out to me. And thankfully, this wasn't a major problem for me, but I did learn that, whatever content I was making didn't always transfer to the other platforms just as well as it did on another platform. So it takes trying. It's like throwing the spaghetti at the wall, seeing which one sticks, because you're gonna have to try. You're gonna have to try. It's like no way around it. I have my notes here, so that's why I'm like looking at the notebook. But the last one, and I hope I'm not talking too fast, but the last one I want to go over is the power of collaboration. Um, The power of collaboration. I could have put this one, all of these up. So understand your target. I typed that all wrong. Learn digital marketing. And then this last one is the power of collaboration. Now, this one I really would make a top priority, because when you collaborate with people, it's going to help you in a tremendous way. Collaborate. Now we can collaborate on podcasts, we can collaborate on YouTube lives, Facebook lives, Instagram lives, because people think because you're going live, it's always a podcast now. No, your live could be your live, your podcast can be your podcast. Those are two separate things. You could also collaborate with people on workshops locally and maybe where someone lives. You know, if you have people all over, see if something can connect with your mission. And also collaborate with different local businesses, collaborate with nonprofits, all like these are like 7 things, y'all. So these are things that I would do if I was to like start from scratch, and let's say I never published any books at all. I would do all of these things intentionally first, so that I can make sure I have a strong foundation. You don't want to start off halfway. You don't want to just say, I have a book, and then you go away. That's the worst thing that you could do, because people forget, like their attention span is not quick, long anymore. It's like you need to be quick. You need to tell me what your mission is in 2 seconds. I got to go to the next person. So you have to be everywhere. Like not only just have your platforms that you keep up with, but you also want to be on other people's platforms so that you're visible. Like even post things like that people can relate to, that would want to share on their platform. Like I'm always posting positive encouragement, and people just share, and it always comes back to my platforms where people end up following or they end up purchasing something. Yeah, and inbox people, like that can be scary too, but inbox people, see where their heads are. Like, hey, do you know any grandparents? I think, is Grandparents Day tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow. Grandparents Day. Hold on, y'all. Oh, okay, never mind. September is they're saying it's Grandparents Day. But this month is Mother's Day. Like, maybe if you wanted to, it's probably a little too late, but let's say next year you're planning to put out a book for Mother's Day. And it's about mommy and me or whatever, and it's a children's book. You want to start planning now who you're going to collaborate with. What do you like? You reach out to people so that it's not so rushed. That's a bonus. Like, do not procrastinate. Like, procrastination can kill your whole project. Do not procrastinate because of fear. I don't even know how to, I don't know. I'm gonna just leave that because I'm like, I don't even know how to spell right now. Do not procrastinate though. You delay yourself from so many opportunities when you procrastinate on trying to collaborate with people, trying to digital market, or do your marketing in general, understanding your target. Don't delay on these things, because you want your book to be successful. You want it to be well-rounded. You want it to be brought up in the rooms, the important rooms. You want it in conversations. You want kids to want to read your book every single night. I have tons of parents that contact me like, they love your books. They want to read them every night. And that's beautiful. That's like that's an accomplishment to me. Other than like becoming like more than becoming number one or New York's best selling whatever. I want to hear parents say that your book really helped my child. It really made them happy, brings them joy. Like I want to hear those things. So just make sure you're collaborating. Make sure you get feedback. Like don't be so afraid to get feedback from what can I do better? Like you constructive criticism, that's what they call it. Don't be afraid of that. So I'm gonna show you my books again. That's all I wanted to get on before midnight because I gotta get back on tomorrow. But these are the two books. And again, I'll be making these hardcover for parents that like hardcover because right now they're only paperback and they're both on ebook, I believe. So you could get an ebook version, you could get a paperback, and then I'll let you know when they're available for hardcover. So I hope this helped you. I'm excited for your author journey. Congratulations in advance on your success. And I hope this really helped. So you can follow me on my channel at Kristen Nicole Man. And then also I am on TikTok at Kristen Nicole Man, Instagram at Kristen Nicole Man, and Facebook, Kristen Nicole Man. So I will talk to you later, and y'all have a good night. Bye.